Hi everyone and welcome back to Bonnie Astrology. Today we're discussing the new moon in Taurus happening on the 7th or the 8th of May depending on where you are in the world, and of course what it means for your zodiac sign. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you like it. You can subscribe to the channel for regular astrology content from me, and if you want to follow me at any of my socials, they're listed in the description alongside the only place that you can get me to book a private reading. I do have spaces for the end of May going into June currently. That's the only place that you can get me, and I am admittedly quite slow at replying to emails at times, but I do have spaces for the end of May and June. So let's have a little look at what this new moon means for us collectively. Of course, if you want to click ahead to your zodiac sign, feel free to do so. The timestamps are in the description, but this is a bit of a summary on what this new moon means for us collectively and the different types of themes that are playing out. So of course, depending on where you are in the world, this is either happening on the 7th or the 8th of May. So for example, where I am in Northern Ireland, it is happening at within the early hours of the morning, around 3 a.m. in the morning on the 8th of May. But we feel the effects of a new moon about a week prior or a week after, and we really feel what it means for us within the 3 days before and the 3 days after. That's usually if something is manifesting around the time of this new moon, that's when we notice it the most. That's when the energy is the most potent. And the beautiful thing about this new moon is that it's very grounded and rooted. It's very earthy. It's a new moon in Taurus, and it is supported by a sextile to Saturn in Pisces. And both Saturn and Taurus have some compatibility here because both the planet Saturn and the sign of Taurus focus on commitment, committing and consistency to our plans. So when we have a new moon, any new moon is an opportunity to plant new seeds, particularly when it's in an earth sign, and particularly as, at least in the northern hemisphere, we have springtime energy. This is a really lovely time to begin something new. There are no aside from Pluto, there are no retrogrades happening in the sky, and so there is this sense of forward momentum. Mercury is still in shadow at the time of this new moon, and it does have a repetitive theme thanks to its conjunction to Chiron, but I will get to that in just a second. This new moon is a lovely time to plant seeds and intentions, to set an intention. It's also a lovely time to plan your garden if you're into gardening or doing something earthy, planning a camping trip, planning to do something outdoors, going on a hike, doing something with friends outside, feeling grounded and rooted in reality and forming more of a connection to the earth, particularly on the back of that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Our connection to nature and our connection to earth is that much stronger, and it is a new era of having a better connection to the earth and to the planet. And this new moon is all about planting those seeds, setting those intentions, and figuring out what you want to do in terms of your connection to the earth, or how you want to get grounded in nature. So as I say, that can be hiking, that can be camping, that can be going for a walk in the woods, that can even be having a barbecue, weather permitting, outdoors, having a picnic. Taurus is associated with food and pleasure, so the things that you like to eat, the things that you like to drink. And Taurus is just, to me, the epitome of barbecue season, at least here, because usually where I am, the best weather actually comes in May, and people like to eat outdoors, eat al fresco, and then get eaten alive by midges after. But it is this sense of feeling connected with nature and enjoying the simple things in life, good wine, good food. And the sextile to Saturn is saying, okay, well, we have a degree of requirement for consistency, and because Saturn is in a water sign, to water these seeds that you're planting, to eat the good food but stay hydrated, to make a plan but figure out ways to keep it going. Watering those seeds in a metaphorical sense or a literal sense, depending on what it is that you're doing with your garden or growing your own food, growing your own crops, is something that you might see a lot of people leaning towards doing or talking about doing under this new moon in Taurus. It's a great time to take root and to feel grounded in the moment, particularly because we have had a very tumultuous eclipse season. We've had a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, we've had a Mercury retrograde in Aries, and we had a very intense full moon in Scorpio as well. So there have been these intense changes where we have really been focused on getting through those changes, getting through those disruptions. And now we have a moment to set an intention and to make a plan that doesn't feel so disrupted. Now, of course, the new moon is happening in the sign of Taurus, and in Taurus we'll have the sun, the new moon itself, we'll have Venus, we'll have Uranus, and we'll have Jupiter, all in the sign of Taurus, all making, albeit wide, aspects to this new moon. So this new moon could be a new start when it comes to love, thanks to Venus. When it comes to finances in particular, Venus is in Taurus. It can also bring about changes that are a little unexpected, a little bit different. Maybe because of recent changes, you've opened your mind up to new possibilities with that conjunction to Uranus. And then the conjunction to Jupiter is saying that this new moon has the potential to expand your perspectives, to expand your horizons. And of course, this month in general, with Jupiter being in Taurus until the 25th, when it enters Gemini, its connection to the different Taurus placements, Venus, for example, it can really bring about this sense of adventure and pastures new in the sign of Taurus, wanting to explore lands, wanting to explore new places in order to find new nourishment, whatever feeds your soul. So there's an explorative energy. With Uranus being in Taurus, it is very much that song that says, give me land, lots of land with the starry sky above, but don't fence me in. It's, the bull doesn't want to be fenced in when Uranus is in Taurus. So be open to exploring. Of course, set good roots for yourself, lay solid foundations, but be able to wander within those boundaries, with those parameters. There's this card I have in a deck, and I can't remember the name of the deck. I think it's Goddess of the Moon. But it has this garden in the gate card where this girl is in this really beautiful garden, but she knows that as lovely as the garden is, there's more out there. She just has to go through the gate into the unknown horizon, and explore what's out there as well, knowing that she can return to that garden at any time. So it's a very lovely new moon. It has a lot of potential for very solid rooted new beginnings. Whatever is beginning for you at this time can be quite consistent, can be quite long term, and can be quite fruitful as well, provided you remember to water those seeds that you've planted. Now, one of the other things that's going on under this new moon in Taurus is the Mercury Chiron conjunction in Aries. Now, Mercury connected with Chiron throughout its retrograde cycle, and this may have brought up painful conversations, this may have brought up painful thoughts, but it may have been a time to revise your ideas surrounding healing, surrounding the wounding that you have, particularly linked to your own identity with Aries, or linked to your own ability to act or not act on your thoughts. So we discussed it in the April astrology reading, but the Mercury retrograde in Aries is a great time, or was a great time, it's still in shadow, but it was a great time to reflect on where you take action, where you don't take action, where you take action too quickly, and when you move too slowly. And sort of reflecting your mind-body connection with what it is that you're thinking and what it is that you're doing. And this conjunction to Chiron is saying, okay, well, where does that feel painful? Do you feel this shame where you don't take action on something you want to do because you're shy? Or is this where you feel like you're too impulsive or too quick to anger? This can be the final conversation and those matters, or the final thought process, where you start to get a lot of clarity on what that retrograde was teaching you and how you can take those lessons, those thoughts, those ideas, and move forward in a way that feels healing to you. So while this new moon has this potential for really beautiful new beginnings, from a mental perspective, the reflection that you've been doing and the mental healing your thought patterns, healing your thought processes, or healing your mind-body connection, those lessons are going to help you sow those seeds, set those intentions, and move forward. Potentially, with so much in Taurus, a little slower. Life moves a little bit slower in Taurus season. We like to sit and smell the flowers like Ferdinand the Bull. We like to listen to the sound of the wind breezing through the trees in a forest. It's very grounded, it's very earthy, and it's very sensual, where you really engage with your senses and you feel the grass beneath your feet, or you listen to the breeze, or you play that song that you really love on repeat until you get sick of it. That's what I do. But it is a beautiful time to be present and to really feel connected to the world around you. and to feel rooted in reality. Even if there are some shocks and surprises come up this month thanks to Uranus being in Taurus and connecting with the Taurus placements as well, those surprises can be positive. Uranus is making a conjunction to Venus, and sometimes that can bring about unexpected but positive developments in love and relationships or financially, because Venus is a benefic, but it can also be a case where we change our perspective and we open our minds to new possibilities where we have possibly fenced ourselves in and become quite stuck. So rooted in reality, setting intentions, new beginnings, but also keeping the mind and the sense of adventure open. So I'm going to pull a tarot card for this new moon in Taurus, as always, and see what comes up, just for some additional clarity on this new moon. It feels like a nice new moon, and you'll notice that if you have placements at 17, 18, 19 degrees of Taurus or the other fixed signs, so Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you may notice that this new moon is a little bit more impactful for you. You see events happening around you. You really are very aware of what the theme is. And for others of you, if you don't, this is quite simply a great time to set intentions in the area of your chart that it is falling. Ah, 3 of Wands. Manifest your dreams. That's pretty cute. Manifesting big developments, travel for pleasure, work or love, level up and progress. So this is a beautiful card. It's all about setting intentions and allowing the universe to provide you with those intentions, with the connections you need to make it happen, with the tools you need to make it happen. For a lot of people, I think this is a time of realization of something they want that might take time, might take a lot of commitment, might take a lot of dedication, because it does say big developments. And I feel with the connection to Jupiter being in Taurus at the time of this new moon, a lot of people might be manifesting a holiday, an adventure, travel. And some people might be with the connection to Venus manifesting love or financial abundance, but it's really whatever abundance means for you. And funnily enough, under the deck, we have the 7 of Coins, and this is Saturn in Taurus, perseverance, long-term view, coming to fruition, harvest, ripen, investments, and patience. And the lady in this is actually pregnant, and she has a basket full of apples. And on the other side is the Empress, which is divine feminine, and is also to do with pregnancy and motherhood. So for a lot of people, this really is about birthing an idea or planting the seeds, the conception of an idea, so that 6 months from now something comes to fruition. And it might take time, it might take dedication, but it is worth it, and it will feel like abundance. So whatever you're setting your mind to under this new moon, just know that patience is required, an open mind is required, but also there is great potential for long-term abundance and fulfillment. That is what I have for the new moon in Taurus. As always, timestamps are listed below. If you want to check your sun, moon and rising, feel free. Astrologically speaking, I do suggest you watch the ascendant, your rising sign first, but this can also apply to your sun and moon, because sometimes it just depends what's going on in your chart. If you have your sun and moon at around 18 degrees of a fixed sign, you might be feeling this quite a bit. So that is what I have for this new moon in Taurus. I hope you'll have a blessed one, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Taurus, welcome to the new moon in your sign. So Taurus, this is a beautiful new moon. This is happening in your first house, which means that there may be some kind of personal new beginning, whether that is that you're getting a new hairstyle, you're getting a haircut, you're shopping for some new clothes, some new accessories, or perhaps there is a personal goal that's very true to who you are at your core that you're going to be beginning or initiating under this new moon. This one is really quite lovely. Now, it's particularly lovely when it comes to shopping for new clothes, adding new items to your wardrobe, getting new things, new products for your beauty regimen, your hair care. The reason for this is because Venus and Jupiter, both of the astrological benefics, are in your first house. And Venus adores being in your sign. So in terms of image, in terms of beauty, aesthetic, wonderful time for you. It can also be that you're perhaps also initiating or starting up a personal chapter for yourself that feels really true to who you are. This could be a new personal project, a new goal that you're working on solo, you're working on by yourself, something that is going to require a lot of your energy, and it's going to incorporate your character, it's going to incorporate your own personal instincts. Like, this is all about you, whatever this new beginning is. So it's very personal and true to who you are. So whether that is that you're initiating a goal of yours you've had for a while, or whether it is that you just feel like the time is right to start something new for you, this is the time to do it. Although I will say, Taurus, I do think you're supported, because we have a lovely sextile coming in from Saturn in your 11th house, meaning that you might be particularly supported by friends or groups of people, maybe older people with Saturn being there, older friends, older acquaintances, groups of people, or that those type of people could be part of your goal. You know, there could be something that they assist you with or something that they're supporting you with, but it really feels as though there's some true and steady people around you that really want to help you. Or this goal could be in some way related to a cause or a society or a club that you're very invested in and you really want to integrate yourself in, Taurus, and you want to commit to. So this can really be, if it's your birthday around the time of this new moon, it can be a really nice time to spend with your friends. And I will say also, because Venus and Jupiter are both in your sign, you could find that you get particularly nice gifts this year, or you feel people are particularly generous to you as well if it is your birthday. Around this new moon, you could absolutely be receiving some kind of gift. Someone could treat you to perhaps a necklace or a skincare product or something like that, or a perfume, Taurus, that you weren't expecting but you really appreciate. So I'm going to pull you a tarot card for this new moon. As always, Taurus. So we have the Knight of Cups, which is follow your heart. Very beautiful, especially with Venus being in your sign. You're more attractive to romantic suitors and romantic pursuit from others, Taurus. This might mean that there is a chivalrous, I don't know why that was so hard to say, a chivalrous and romantic prospect. It may also be that if you have a personal goal, there could be a creative element to this. It could be artistic. It could be a creative project that you're really putting your heart into, Taurus. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Gemini, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Gemini, this is a very blessed new moon, and it's happening for you in the sector of your chart that represents the subconscious, the hidden, our secrets, our inner world, isolation, retreat, and a place of letting go and endings. And I know what you're thinking, maybe that doesn't sound like such a blessing. But it is. So with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, the long-term transits in your 12th house, particularly over the last year, you may have had a lot of worries, a lot of concerns, loneliness, endings, isolation in places, and you might have done quite a lot of healing. And this new moon is the restart that you get with those type of things. So for example, I'll give a bit of an abstract example. I'm in the process of clearing out a lot of stuff physically, so items, clothing. The 12th house is where we hide things, so what's hidden. So our closets, our wardrobes, our drawers, they contain a lot of stuff that other people don't necessarily see. And 12th house transits are where we do this clearing out of the stuff that nobody else sees. So we can spend more time alone, more time in isolation, healing, letting go, endings, that type of thing. And this new moon is all about abundance. And one of the things I realized with clearing out stuff is that, to me, stuff, physical stuff, is not abundance. Space is abundant. Room is abundant. Being able to move freely through things is abundant. And for you, you might realize how abundant this new chapter is, because it has a lot of room. You know, you might have gone through some losses that you really didn't want to go through, and it's not to, in many cases, undervalue the loss, but it is to make something of it. You know, say for example, we find ourselves distancing ourselves, you know, relationships ending with all our childhood friends. And we now have this new chapter of, right, okay, well, I'm going to make new friends, but, you know, who are they going to be? Well, they're going to be more in alignment with who you are now. You may meet them through interests that you share. You may be in a better place spiritually, mentally. So you're going to be meeting people who mirror that, instead of people who mirror the old, perhaps bad habits that you were experiencing at one point in your life. And this new moon is saying, okay, well, the clearing that's happened, the losses that happened, what is going to fill that space? Because whenever a loss occurred, when a space is made, the universe fills it. It's, you know, when there's a vacuum, the universe fills it. So you might have found with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that there was some loss in your life, and now you're thinking, or some ending. And this could actually be entirely from a healing perspective. You know, you could have let go of a lot of stuff, and now you're thinking, okay, well, what am I going to fill it with? Because the mind might want to fill it with the same old. And this new moon is where you set the intentions of what you do want to fill it with. You know, your mental health, what practices do you want to have in place? If you think of any loss you've had in your life, what do you want to put in that space where that time was, where that dedication was? What do you want to do with that? Whether it is that you lost someone very dear to you and now you want to start something in their memory, or whether it is that you ended a relationship and now you have this time to go on those spiritual retreats you wanted to go on. That's the kind of energy of this, Gemini. There will be blessings in what you do with your space. Space is abundant. What you've cleared, that's abundance, because there's a lot of freedom in that. You know, Uranus is there, Jupiter's there. There's a lot of freedom in the space that you create. So this new moon might be a new spiritual practice. It might be deciding what you want to fill that vacuum with, deciding what you want to fill that space with. And it can be a time of great closure as well for you, where you understand a new chapter is forming for you, Gemini. So it really is a time where you're maybe thinking, okay, well, what do I want to do with this space? What would be abundant to fill this with? You also got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups came out for Taurus. I think with Jupiter and Venus both being in Taurus, this is looking for a lot of people like a really nice time for love and romance. Maybe for you, you're finding that under this new moon, you're wanting to get more in touch with your feelings. You're wanting to get more in touch with something artistic or creative, maybe behind the scenes. Maybe you want to learn guitar in private. Maybe you want to sing in private. You could completely, you know, if you wanted to, you could create your own album. Doesn't have to be great on your computer in private. There's actually a lot of singers who've started that way, creating albums in their bedrooms, and they do have 12th house placements, and this is a 12th house new moon. But maybe you're just getting, you know, you're feeling very psychic, you're feeling in touch with your emotions, and you can channel that into something artistic, Gemini, as well. That is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Cancer, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Cancer, this is happening in a very social part of the sky for you. This is looking like new friendship, new groups, new teams, or a reset, a change in those areas. So you might be meeting new friends around this time. You might be meeting new groups, new communities. You might be joining a team. You could be bonding with someone in a friendship level. You could be social networking. You could be creating a social networking profile or a platform. And this new moon really is all about setting intentions of how you want your social life to be, how you want to network, what you want your social support systems to look like. Maybe manifesting new friends, the type of friends that you want, or maybe even just, you know, if you're on a social media site for business, maybe setting intentions and goals there as well. With Venus and Jupiter being there, these things are more likely to go well. So if you do have an intention you want to set in that sector, do make sure that you do it. For some of you, this could be a new membership that you're joining, and it could be somewhere where you really grow and develop. If you're on social media, by the way, you might get more followers, you might get more recognition for what work you do online, or you might just be finding if you are networking, you're more likely to attract great friends, great connections, and a lot of social opportunities. This could be a time where you're attending an event. That could be really exciting with Jupiter and Venus being there. As I say, you're more likely to meet really interesting people under this as well. There is a sextile, from Saturn in Pisces, which for you is your 9th house. So you might find that traveling brings you more social networking opportunities, or you're connecting with people overseas, or you're connecting with people through university, through college, through higher education. And you might also find that you're connecting with people on a spiritual level or a religious level. Maybe you're joining a church group, or maybe you're joining a mentorship program, like a women's circle or something like that. You're maybe just finding yourself aligning with different groups depending on your belief system, depending on your spiritual preferences, or as I say, maybe through travel as well. But this is a really nice social one for you, Cancer. So I wouldn't suggest staying at home. I would say get out there, connect with people, because you could meet some really interesting ones around the time of this new moon. And if you are looking for new friends, this is a wonderful time to set that intention. Your tarot card, beautifully, Cancer, was the 10 of Cups, which is harmony, blissful relationships, wish fulfillment, divine love, peace, feeling connected to other people, feeling like some kind of wish is fulfilled. I also want to say for you in particular, with Venus being there, Jupiter being there, and this new moon, I would say this is a perfect time to actually make a vision board, to make a wish, to set an intention, because it's more likely to come true with Jupiter still being in your 11th house and this new moon happening there. I would say make a wish, set an intention, because it has a really good chance of manifesting under this new moon, provided that you're dedicated to it and provided you have belief in it with Saturn in the 9th, but it is very likely to manifest for a lot of you, Cancer. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Leo, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Leo, this new moon is happening at the top of your chart in your professional sector. So it's possible that there could be a new beginning for a lot of you in your career. That could be that you're starting a new job. It could be that you're going down a new route professionally. It could be that you're getting a new title as part of your job. And it could also be that you're perhaps becoming more public, more visible. Venus and Jupiter are both in your 10th house at the time of this new moon. And so you have more chance of recognition, you have more chance of success, you have more chance of being in the public, being seen, being appreciated, being recognized for a lot of you, Leo. And interestingly enough, there is this lovely sextile from Saturn, which means that this could be a long-term thing. This could be a committed thing. It could be where people are investing in you career-wise. It could be that you have some financial support from other people potentially, or it could just be that you're perhaps creating some sort of legacy for yourself with what it is that you're doing professionally. You're kind of focused on what it is that you want to be known for, what you want to leave behind. And maybe for some of you as well, the professional changes that are going on could help you with your commitment to paying off debt or paying off a loan with Saturn in the 8th. It's worth saying that if your career is not changing, it could be that your boss is changing, or something is changing with a parent or someone in a position of authority over you, Leo. There could be changes there. Maybe you get a new manager, maybe you have a parent that's retiring, maybe you're retiring, and your retirement is bringing you your pension with the sextile to Saturn in your 8th. But it could also be that perhaps, you know, you're just figuring out and setting intentions what you want to do professionally. Great time to make some goals in terms of what you want to do for the long run, where you want to be professionally in 6 months from now. If you have a new ambition, a new goal, it does not have to be career related, but something that you would maybe like to be known for, Leo. But let's get you a tarot card as well for this new moon in Taurus. Oh, for goodness sake. You also got the Knight of Cups. I'm not even kidding. Taurus and Gemini both got the Knight of Cups, and I'm really shuffling this deck and just pulling it at random. This is really strange. So you got the Knight of Cups. I feel like love is in the air for a lot of people under this new moon. I mean, really. This could be for some of you, you know, with the 10th house, maybe it's a proposal, maybe it's an engagement, maybe your public image is changing because of that. Maybe some of you are dating someone in the public eye, someone who has a public image or recognition. Maybe for some of you, you're making a proposal. But for others of you, if your career is creative, or you have a creative goal in mind, this is a really good sign to follow your heart and do what is right for you. But some of you might also be, for some reason, this is highlighting to you rather than anyone else. You might be horseback riding, or that could be a goal to horseback ride, or something to do with horses. But I'm getting the sense that for a lot of you, this could be with whatever you are doing, taking your heart with you, because you are the sign that is ruled by the heart. So this is a beautiful one for being artistic, following your heart, channeling your passions. And you know, for a lot of people, their success is dependent on being emotionally invested in what they do. That's not the same for everybody, but a lot of folk get the most success in the industry or area where they really feel passionate about it. And with that Knight of Cups, that could be the case for you too, Leo. Then it can also be that love is in the air. So if you're single, do keep your eyes peeled, because Venus is in your 10th house. You're more likely to meet somebody, and Uranus that rules your descendant is in the 10th house. You're more likely to meet somebody through your line of work or professionally if you are looking at this time, Leo. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Virgo, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Virgo, this new moon is happening in your 9th house. So new moons are times of new beginnings. We set intentions, we plant seeds, we make plans. For you, this is happening in your 9th house. So that could be that you are under this new moon taking a trip, planning a vacation, planning a holiday or a travel experience. It can be for some of you, you're getting a visa, you're getting a passport, you're getting travel documentation. For others of you, it can be that you're perhaps committing to a new path when it comes to your higher education. You could be enrolling in college, you could be applying for a master's, you could be sitting exams, you could be perhaps taking a new approach to your studies, changing to a different topic to study. It could also be for some of you that perhaps this is a new religious or spiritual path you're going down. So in terms of your belief system, you might be leaning in a new direction. You know, for a lot of people now that Saturn is in Pisces, they're kind of moving towards more traditional religious belief systems. So that's where you see a lot of people converting to Christianity, for example. But it doesn't have to be that, but you may be exploring and wanting to learn more or get more curious about religion or spirituality in general under this new moon, particularly as it has that sextile to Saturn in Pisces. Now, the sextile to Saturn in Pisces means that if you're planning a trip, it might be with a significant other. It could be a honeymoon, for example. Or it could be that if you are traveling and you're single, you meet somebody. Or it could be that if you're planning to study for an exam, you have a study partner. Or if you're looking to study a new religion or a new spiritual perspective, you have a mentor. With that Saturn in the 7th house sextile, it feels as though there's at least one person who is supporting you or going along with you in whatever it is that you're beginning, Virgo. It feels like you have company. So that can be a business partner, a romantic partner, a best friend, a mentor, a client even. It just seems like you have a partnership, somebody else that's maybe coming in with you on that new endeavor, that new personal pursuit. It's a great time to, if you want to in the future travel, to set those intentions, to make that travel vision board, or if you're looking to get more involved in some kind of spiritual community, it's a great time to set those intentions as well. Let's get you a tarot card, Virgo. See what you get. So you got the Five of Cups. So I feel like something is kind of maybe making you a little bit sad at this time, because the Five of Cups is where you're feeling a bit sad, you're feeling a bit upset, you could be in a place of loss, you could be working through some emotional baggage, Virgo. In terms of the astrology, having Saturn across from you sometimes can feel very weighty. Sometimes for people who have Saturn transiting their 7th house, it can coincide with distance and isolation from a friendship, a best friend or a relationship, a romantic relationship or a partner. So maybe for some of you, you have a bit of distance and a bit of upset with someone in your life around this new moon, or maybe you're just dealing with a loss from a previous experience. Virgo, obviously there were eclipses in your 8th house, which is to do with change. It's to do with inevitable change. It can also be associated with endings in its own way. And we have had a Mercury retrograde there. So maybe for some of you, it's been bringing up past emotional pain or some psychological triggers. But the Five of Cups is interesting because it is all about shifting our focus from what has gone wrong to what is going right, what still remains. And that's very 9th house. It's that kind of optimistic energy of, okay, well, this didn't work out, but I still have this. And there's still the potential for this. The 9th house is where we choose to be a little bit more optimistic of what's to come and hopeful for what is to come, and maybe see the higher perspective on a change or ending in your life, Virgo. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Libra, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Libra, this new moon could bring about a new beginning due to maybe opportunity or due to change. New beginning when it comes to your joint financial relationships. So this could be the debt that you owe somebody. This can be your mortgage repayments. This can be your partner's money, your spouse's money. Basically where you are connected to someone else financially. So for some people that's the government, for some that's a spouse, for some that's both. But it can also be your own personal debt to someone else as well. Maybe you're starting a new payment plan or repayment plan to pay off some debt of yours. Perhaps your partner's financial situation is changing. Perhaps you're thinking of remortgaging. Perhaps you're looking at getting a new mortgage. Perhaps you're looking at getting a loan. But there does seem to be some sort of new beginning when it comes to money that is not simply your own income, if that makes sense, Libra. This can also be a new way of tackling something psychologically because it's the 8th house. You might want to work on some baggage that you have from the past. You might want to work through some trauma, or you might need to sort through something that you've inherited, whether that is, psychologically speaking. You might be noticing something genetic that you've inherited, and maybe you have a new beginning on how to approach that if that's happened. That's very rare for some people. That's just a very obscure example. But it could be that perhaps you're also working through an inheritance that you've received. But it does feel like, financially speaking, Libra, what's most likely is that there is a new beginning when it comes to the money that you owe or are receiving through somebody else. It's also worth bearing in mind that if this new moon does not make any aspects to your chart, you might not necessarily be feeling this so much, and the change might be quite minimal. But if you do have placements at 18 degrees of Taurus, 17, 18, 19 degrees, you might be feeling this a little bit more impactfully. Just because I know a lot of people do worry about the 8th house, but this new moon is really very well aspected. Venus and Jupiter are there, which means that financially speaking, it's pretty positive. So if you were trying to get a mortgage or remortgage or something like that, your odds are a bit better. Or your partner might also be getting a pay rise that is perhaps helping you financially as well, Libra. There is a sextile to Saturn in the 6th house, which means that you may be committing to better habits in your life that are going to help you when it comes to paying off a debt, or it might be that perhaps your commitment to your work is helping you in your financial commitments, or it's maybe helping you, maybe your consistency with work is helping you get a mortgage, get approved for a mortgage, or maybe it is that your commitment to your job is helping you with your mortgage repayments or something like that. So let's get you a tarot card, Libra, and see what we have. We have this, we have the 6 of Wands, which says congratulations, victory, recognition, success, confidence boost, or milestones. Maybe for some of you this is a milestone like buying your first home, get a mortgage, being successful in your application for a loan or a mortgage, or successfully repaying off a debt, or starting a program for yourself or a plan to pay off debt, Libra, which looks really successful thanks to the 6 of Wands. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Scorpio, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Scorpio, this new moon is happening in your relationship sector, your partnership sector, the 7th house. So that could be that perhaps there is a new beginning happening in a current relationship, a current romantic relationship, or a current business partnership. There could be a new phase. We have Venus and Jupiter there, which is really blessed, meaning that maybe some of you are wanting to take your relationship to the next level. You may be wanting to get engaged, get married, move in together, have a child together, whatever that new step looks like for you. You know, for some it could be something as simple as your first holiday together, or it could be, giving them the key to your apartment or something like that. It's basically this new beginning in your relationship sector that feels loving with Venus and expansive with Jupiter. And it could also be that for some of you that are single, you actually meet or form a new relationship under this new moon as well. And that can be one that feels really positive with Jupiter and Venus being there as well. So there could be a new relationship on the horizon for a lot of you. For some of you, this could also be a business relationship. So a partner to work with that is really, you feel really optimistic and joyful and hopeful about this. For some of you, it can also be a new beginning in a legal matter, which feels like it's maybe more going in your favor if you're involved in a legal matter. Now, there is a sextile to Saturn in your 5th house, which means that the odds are a bit higher that if you're beginning a relationship around this time, it's likely romantic, with the 5th house being active here as well. So you could be, dating somebody and it could be more serious. It could become more long term, or it could be that commitment to have children together with the 5th house, or it could be meeting someone that you're really artistically committed to. If it's a business partnership, you have creative visions that are similar. And it could also be that it might be that if you're working with someone one-on-one, say it's a client, because the 7th house are also clients, you could be working on something creative with a client, helping them find creative solutions to a problem, for example. If this is a one-on-one client relationship, it could be a really exciting new client in your life as well if you are if you have clientele, because this can be someone who really expands your mind, maybe someone who comes from overseas, who has a different viewpoint, they've maybe traveled the world. It can be that kind of thing too. A new client that really expands your vision, Scorpio, and what it is that you want in this lifetime as well. Let's get you a tarot card as well for this new moon. Okay, so interestingly enough, in this deck, this is a new deck that I have. This is actually not a traditional tarot card, but it's the solar eclipse card. Now, obviously, we're out of eclipse season and we've just had a solar eclipse in Aries. But in this deck, it recognizes change, finding your inner truth, transformation, cosmic trigger, and beginnings. So there might be something very fated beginning for a lot of you at this time, Scorpio. So if it is a relationship, it might be very destined. I did note that the Wheel of Fortune was underneath this, so there could be a significant new beginning that feels very fated for a lot of you. That is what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Sagittarius, this new moon is happening in your 6th house. So this could be that there's a new beginning in your work life. Maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe you're getting a new coworker. Maybe a coworker is leaving. You're getting a new employee. You've got a new service to provide as part of your job, or a role change. Could also be for a lot of you that you're beginning a new path or creating a new goal for yourself when it comes to health, fitness, wellness. Perhaps that is that you're signing up with a gym, a personal trainer. Perhaps it is that you are starting some kind of new way of eating. Maybe you're going vegetarian. Maybe for some of you, you're signing up to do a marathon, whatever it is. It's all very blessed with Jupiter and Venus being there as well. So if you are looking to improve your health, this is a good time to start a new goal or set a new intention. If you get a new coworker, this could be someone you really like. If you get a new employee, they might be your star employee. Or if you're starting a new job, you might be pretty well recognized within it, Sagittarius, with this new moon. There is a sextile from Saturn in your 4th, so you could be feeling quite supported by a parent, particularly a mother maybe, or you could be perhaps joining the gym with your mother, or the 4th house is also to do with your home, so maybe if you've moved home, you're building a gym, or you're getting exercise equipment for your house, or where you live, there's a running club or something like that, Sagittarius. But it does feel like there's a new beginning when it comes to your health and your wellness. And with your ruler Jupiter there, you're very invested in it. You know, you're very excited about it. You're very hopeful and optimistic about it as well, Sagittarius. We also had the Empress as your tarot card, which is beautiful for physical wellness and abundance as well, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, self-care. For some of you, this can also be to do with pregnancy and motherhood. So maybe that is an influence in you starting something new health-wise, or a new beginning when it comes to your work. Say, for example, your new beginning is that you're going on maternity, or you're returning from maternity, or you're just looking to feel more perhaps beautiful and positive and abundant. And maybe you feel like joining a gym or starting an exercise program or taking better care of yourself is going to make you feel that bit more abundant and that bit more beautiful, Sagittarius. But the Empress is a wonderful card to get for Taurus season, to get with Venus and Jupiter both being there in your 6th house. There's a lot of opportunity for positive growth and positive blessings in that sector. So that's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Capricorn, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. So for a lot of you, this new beginning or these new intentions could surround love, romance, dating. Maybe you meet somebody new around the time of this new moon, or maybe you're getting very clear on what you want in your romantic life and you're setting intentions and you're manifesting it. This can be for a lot of you as well a new pregnancy in your life, or a pregnancy in your life, or a birth in your life with the 5th house. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own, but for those of you that are wanting to become parents, it's a really auspicious new moon to set that intention. It can also be that if you really do not want to be a parent, this is a new moon to take extra care. But this can also be a new beginning in your children's life as well. So maybe there's something new happening with a child of yours. There is a sextile to Saturn in your third, so maybe you have a child starting a new school, or a child starting an education program, or maybe your child is starting to talk. Maybe your baby is starting to talk or something like that. For a lot of you, this could be a new creative endeavor regardless, or it could just be the intention to have more fun, to have more joy in your life. And how you're going to do that is maybe by committing to your local neighborhood or committing your mindset to it with Saturn, your ruler, in the third. You know, you might be quite committed to your community. You might be quite committed to getting involved in your local environment. You might also be finding that you are attending a party in the local neighborhood, or you're wanting, if you have children, for them to mix more with children in your local neighborhood. You're wanting to introduce them to friends in your local neighborhood, or you're getting more involved in your kids' school or something like that. It can also be that for some of you, you're maybe finding romance on a short trip. If you're maybe, say you live in Belfast, you hop over to London, you might find romance as you're traveling in somewhere that's not too far from you. It could be that you're on a road trip and you meet somebody, or it could be that you get great creative inspiration. If you're traveling, or even if you're just in the car, you might get a really great idea, and you might have the car might actually be the best place for you to set intentions as well, Capricorn, under this new moon in particular. So let's get you a tarot card and see what comes up for you. Oops, I just dropped them all. Woo. I've been going straight at this video and I'm starting to get tired, so I think after yours I'm going to take a bit of a break. But let's get you a tarot card, Capricorn. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, a Cancer, a Pisces person at this time. But this is about getting more in touch with your emotions, getting more in touch with the flow state. So feeling very creative, feeling very in the flow, in touch with your feelings, channeling your feelings into something creative or artistic. That does not have to be painting the greatest painting in the world. It can be that you're preparing food, you're getting creative with that. You may be writing a poem, you may be journaling, maybe you are just getting creative with an idea. Whatever it is, Capricorn, do channel your creativity and get in touch with your emotions under this new moon in Taurus in order to manifest what it is that you want to manifest, because this is very abundant and it's a great chance for love and romance. Even if you're partnered, this is a great time to have fun with your partner, to do something romantic, to plan a date, to set intentions about what you guys want to achieve together. This is all about having fun, getting creative, and being happy, Capricorn. So do follow your heart on what makes you happy. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Aquarius, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Aquarius, this new moon is happening in your 4th house, and this is to do with your home, your living situation. It's to do with property matters, real estate, and it's also to do with your family. And it can also be to do with your roommates who lives in your living space as well. So for a lot of you, this could be a move. This could be a new home. This could be a new living situation. Maybe perhaps the people who live in your house, that's changing. Maybe someone's moving out. Maybe someone's moving in. Some of you could be signing a new lease. Some of you could be getting a mortgage. Some of you could be renovating. Or some of you could be redecorating. But it feels quite expansive. I feel like this is something that you could now feel quite hopeful about or optimistic about, with Jupiter and Venus both being in your 4th house. There could be great blessings in the home. Maybe you're finding out you're going to be a grandparent. Maybe you're excited for the next chapter in your child's life. Maybe you're finding a home that is bigger and better than you thought you could afford, and you can afford it. Maybe for some of you, you're moving home overseas with Jupiter there. You're traveling somewhere new to live. Or maybe just simply there is an event in your home that feels really good for a lot of you. Or you're extending with Jupiter, because Jupiter tends to expand things. You're extending on the back of your house or up on your house or something like that. And there is a sextile to Saturn in your 2nd house, which means that you're really financially committed to this, or you're having to financially commit to this, or you're maybe getting very serious about your income, your job, the money that you make, and how you're going to fund this change, or how you're going to help financially support this change as well, Aquarius. You're really learning to prioritize your finances, your money, what you're spending it on, what you're not spending it on, and committing to things financially. So a lot of the time that can be committing to a house financially. That can be committing to a project financially, Aquarius, as well. Let's get you a tarot card for this new moon. Yep, we had the Two of Pentacles, which is all to do with juggling and balancing your finances as well. You could be back and forth on a situation. You could be a little bit unsure. You could be juggling a lot of different things, prioritizing a lot of different things, and really getting your books and your finances in order when it comes to maybe something happening in your home or with your family. Maybe you're feeling quite busy at this time, Aquarius, with so much in your fourth house. Maybe you have a lot of family commitments or a lot of things on your mind when it comes to your home, your living situation. And you're maybe finding it hard to juggle it all, Aquarius. So do make some time for downtime under this new moon as well. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Pisces, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Pisces, the new intentions that you're setting, the manifestations that you're manifesting under this new moon are likely to be done via communication, speaking things into existence, writing things down. And believe it or not, the third house is also associated with witchcraft and spell work. So maybe for some of you, you are buying a spell kit on Etsy, or you're lighting a candle to manifest something with a specific color, a green candle for wealth, pink candle for love, or something like that. It can also be that you're simply writing something down in present tense as if it's already happened, or if you are setting intentions, you're likely to be doing it via speaking it into existence or writing it down, as I say. But that's just one of the ways this new moon could be manifesting for you. For a lot of you, it could be that there is a new writing project in the work for you, whether that's that you're writing a novel or a short story or a poem, or it could be that you're reading a book that's going to change your mindset, expand your mind with Jupiter being there. When Jupiter's going through your third house, I recommend that you do keep your ears open for Jupiterian wisdom, God speaks through other people kind of energy. This can be that you read a book that really changes your perspective spiritually, or it can be that you learn a lot through what you read, what you listen to. It really helps you expand your mind and your mindset, Pisces. It can also be for a lot of you that you're maybe planning or taking a short trip at this time. Maybe you're planning to go on a road trip. Maybe you're planning on taking a weekend or a city break, and you could be manifesting just that, or this could be the time you're going on one. Or it could also be the time where you're getting a new car, or you're maybe even manifesting a new car, or if you don't drive, it could be, a bicycle or whatever vehicle you use, bicycle, boat, anything like that is what you could be manifesting under this new moon, Pisces. It can also be a new beginning when it comes to your relationship with a neighbor, a sibling, a new person that you meet in your local everyday life. Venus is there, so it could be that you connect to someone socially through your local environment, neighborhood, or something like that. It can also be that you're maybe getting a new phone or a new gadget under this new moon as well. But whatever it is, Pisces, it feels like you're committed to it. With Saturn in your sign sextiling this new moon, you're very committed, you're very determined to learn more, to understand more, and with whatever it is that you're manifesting, it's likely that you're very much only doing it if you're in it for the long haul, with Saturn being in your first house. So you're very committed to what it is that you're starting or manifesting under this new moon, Pisces. Let's get you a card. Yep, Page of Swords. This is perfect. Thirst for knowledge, it says. So quick-witted, curious, ideas, communicative, education. So maybe you're learning something, maybe you're taking a course, maybe you're taking a workshop, maybe you're just getting more curious, maybe you're connecting with new people on social media, maybe you're building a social media platform. It feels as though your mind is very active under this new moon, and you want to be more thoughtful of what you're thinking, what your typical mindset thoughts patterns are. So for example, that is if you're constantly thinking something, you're maybe challenging it and trying to replace it with new thoughts that are a little bit more positive, with Jupiter being there. So say for example, you have a mind spiral, you pay attention to how you define yourself or what your dominant thoughts are, and under this new moon you're saying, I want to think differently, I want to choose better thoughts, I want to choose more optimistic thoughts, with Jupiter and Venus there. And that might actually be something that's helping you manifest more in your life under this new moon, Pisces. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Aries, welcome to the new moon in Taurus for your sign. So Aries, this new moon is happening in your second house. So thankfully, this is a pretty nice new moon to have there, because Venus and Jupiter are both in your second house as well, which is really great for your money. So this new moon is a wonderful time to set intentions and goals when it comes to your finances. Maybe set yourself a financial target, maybe set up a savings account, maybe you're going to get your first paycheck at a new job, maybe you're getting a pay raise, maybe you're just simply setting intentions on what you want your financial situation to look like. And with Jupiter, it's quite expansive. So it could be for a lot of you, this is a raise or a pay rise or a bonus of some kind. And for others of you, it could just be that you're really setting a very ambitious goal for yourself financially. And this new moon could actually be a time where you realize that your relationship to money has changed, or your self-confidence has changed, your self-worth and your values have changed because of the healing work that you've been doing behind the scenes with Saturn being in Pisces, because Saturn is sextiling this new moon. And when Saturn transits the 12th, a lot of the time we address and heal stuff from the past. We address our baggage and our subconscious. So we can uproot and work through some troubling energies. And this then affects our self-confidence, our self-worth, and then this affects our money. So maybe for you, Aries, with this new moon, you're realizing that you would prefer to be putting some of the money that you were spending maybe on a vice, into a savings account. So the 12th house is vices, which is why I say that's maybe some of you are quitting smoking and you're realizing you have some extra money, but you're putting it straight into savings or something like that. It's just an example. Everybody's going to have a very different situation here. So, whatever your situation is, it does, however, regardless, look like a really good time to set intentions financially. So whether that is that you're setting up a goal, you're getting clear on what target you have, what number that is, or whether it is that you're getting an increase in your salary, or whether you're one of those people that is lighting a green candle for abundance, whatever it is, Aries, this is a new beginning for you when it comes to your finances and your income and financial gains as well. But it can also be a time of increased confidence with the second house too, and growth. So it does feel like a lot of you could be very confident and maybe be creating a new confidence goal, how you want to feel, what your confidence currency is as well. So that could be something that's happening for a lot of Aries as well. Let's get you a tarot card and see what's coming up for you. We have the Seven of Wands, which is what's worth fighting for. So this actually says haters gonna hate. So I think you're really feeling very confident, and maybe it's attracting some jealousy from other people, but you're really feeling confident enough to stand on your own to fight for what it is that you want and to live on your own terms, Aries. That is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon.